Today we are going to study mesh analysis. In an exam, they may ask explain mesh analysis in details. Okay. So what is a mesh? A loop in an electric circuit is any closed path in it. If we consider any closed path, we call it as a loop. Mesh is also a loop in an electrical circuit which does not contain any other loops within it. So if we consider this as a circuit, in this circuit we have many loops. B, C, D, A is one loop. C, E, F, D is a loop. B, E, F, D, A is also a loop. So mesh is nothing but a loop. Within that loop there should not be any other loop present. Okay. So here we are applying mesh analysis. So in order to apply the mesh analysis, we will consider one circuit. Consider a general electrical circuit as shown in the figure. Okay. So we may see that in the given circuit we have two voltage supply, resistances and other things. The first thing what we have to do in applying mesh analysis is we have to assume the mesh currents. So in each mesh we have to assume one mesh current. So the mesh currents which we have to assume is given here as I1, I2 and I3. Okay. So if V1 and V2 are the EMFs of two sources and assuming the currents are mesh currents I1, I2 and I3 as shown in the figure. So these currents we can assume in clockwise direction or it in anti-clockwise direction are mixed. Okay. So but it is conventional, it is preferred to assume the currents in clockwise direction. Okay. So for a mesh given here, so let us assume a mesh called A, B, C, D, A. So if I apply the KVL for this mesh, before applying the KVL we have to assume the polarities like this. If the current is moving, the current entering end, let us consider it as positive and the leaving end as negative. Okay. So the current entering end we will consider it as positive polarity and the leaving end as negative polarity. Okay. And we can, let us assume that if we are moving from plus to minus, let us take it as positive, minus to plus, we can assume it as negative. Okay. So that is our assumption. The same assumption should hold good until last. Okay. Plus to minus we are considering it as positive and leaving, and minus to plus we are taking it as negative. We can take in reverse direction also, minus to plus as positive and plus to minus as negative, it depending upon which convention we are using. Here we are using the convention plus to minus as positive and minus to plus is as negative, because while here why I have assumed like that means while applying KVL, so if I get positive end first, I will consider that voltage as positive. If I get negative end, so then I will consider that end as negative. Okay. The voltage across resistance is I into R. The current at R1 resistance is I1 into R. The current at R2 resistance is, so here two currents are flowing. One is I1, another one is I2. And in the direction of I1 if I go, if I am applying KVL to the mesh 1, in that direction if I go, so I1 will be positive and I2 is negative. Okay. So because by seeing the direction we can see that I1 is positive and I2 is negative. The current I have to assume through R2 resistance is I1 minus I2. Okay. Let us apply KVL to the loop 1. Then we will have I1 into R1 plus I1 minus I2 into R2 minus V1 is equal to 0. So I1 into R1 minus I1 minus I2 into R2 minus V1 is equal to 0. So first I got positive end. So the current through resistance R1 is I1. So I1 into R1 is the voltage across R1. The voltage across R2 is current. So the current flowing through R2 is I1 minus I2. So I1 minus I2 into R2. And the voltage present at V1 while in the given direction is minus V1. So we can consider it as So I1 into R1 plus I1 minus I2 into R2 minus V1 equal to 0. Okay. So now rearranging them, we can get I1 is equal to R1 plus R2 minus I2 into R2, which is equal to V1. So further, if you want to write in the standard form, is like this: R11 into I1 plus R12 into I2 plus R13 into I3 is equal to E1. So the resistance present at I1 is R1 plus R2. It is the sum of the resistances in mesh 1. What are the resistances present in the mesh 1? That is R1 plus R2. So that resistance we call by the name as self resistance of mesh 1, which is R1 plus R2. Next, R12, resistance common between 1 and 2. What is the resistance common between 1 and 2? It is R2. So here the value is minus R2. Minus because the current direction is different. If the current direction are same, then it will be positive. The R13 is the resistance between 1 and 3. The resistance between 1 and 3, there is no common resistance between the 1 and 3, so we can consider it as 0. In the equation there is no I3 resistance, so R13 is equal to 0. Okay. Similarly, if we apply the KVL to second loop, C, E, F, D, A, we can start from any point. We have to come to that point after traversing some path, C, E, F, D, E, C. Okay. So now let us apply the KVL to this loop. So the direction of I2, so I2 into R3 plus the resistance present at R4. What is the current present at R4? It is two currents, I2 and I3, and the direction is opposite, so I can take it as I1 minus I3. Because I am applying KVL at the I2 end, so plus 2 minus, I am taking it as I2 minus I3. Okay. So then R2, here the current flowing through R2 is I1 I2 minus I1. So if I apply KVL to this part, it looks like this: I2 into R3 plus I2 minus I3 into R4 plus I2 minus I1 into R2 is equal to 0. So at R4 there are two currents. The direction of I3 is opposite to the direction of I2, so the negative sign. Similarly, at R2 the current I1 is opposite to the direction of I2, so it is negative. After simplifying, it looks like this: I1 into R2 plus I2 into R2 plus R3 plus R4 minus I3 into R4 is equal to 0. Okay. So now let us write in the standard form: R of 21 into I1 plus R of 22 into I2 plus R of 23 into I3 is equal to E2. Okay. So three variable currents are there, I1, I2 and I3. So we can write in this fashion. The resistance connected to I1 can be the resistance at I1. What is the resistance present at I1 here? Minus R2. So this is minus R2. R21 is the resistance between loop 2 and loop 1. R22 is the resistance common to your mesh 2. That is R2, R3 and R4. Sum of resistances in mesh 2. And R23 is the resistance common between mesh 2 and mesh 3. The resistance common between mesh 2 and mesh 3 is R23. Okay. Similarly, we will apply KVL for the last loop E, G, F and H. So here the current through R5 is I3. The current through R4 is I2 minus I3 or I3 minus I2. Because I am applying KVL to in the direction of I3, okay, I am taking I3 minus I2 into R4. Or I can take it as I2 minus I3. If I take plus minus polarity, I can take it as I2 minus I3. At that time I have to take minus of I2 minus I3 into R4. Okay. So if I tell like this, you will not understand. Okay. The offline class I will try to explain it once again. Okay. So after simplifying these things, it looks like this: R31 into I1 plus R32 into I2 plus R33 into I3, which is equal to E3. Okay. So if there are n number of meshes, or if many meshes are there, at that time the general equation look like this: r11 into I1 plus r12 into I2 etc. r1n into I1 is equal to E1. Okay, so here r11 it indicate the self impedances or resistances present in loop 1. r12 indicate the resistance between 1 and 2. r13 indicate the resistance between 1 and 3. Okay, so the resistance between 1 and 2 or 1 and 3, it will be positive if they are, if the currents are in the same direction, or it will be negative if they are in the opposite direction. Okay, here R22 indicate the resistances in the all the sum of the all the resistance in second loop. Okay, R21 indicate the resistance between 2 and 1, like that. Okay, we will take one example. Find the voltage across resistance R in the network shown in the figure below. This is the network they have given, and they are asking us to calculate the resistance across R. Okay, so they have given the value of R is equal to 2 ohm, and they are asking us to calculate the voltage across the R. So, and they have given the polarity plus minus. Okay, we have to use the same polarity what they have given. Rewriting the circuit once again. If we rewrite the circuit, it looks like this. Okay, the polarity is plus minus, and for that reason the current the flowing in that direction is I2, and the current which is flowing in opposite direction is I3 to the polarity they have given. So the voltage at the resistance is given by I2 minus I3 into R. Okay, now let us apply KVL to the loop 1. The current connected to 10 ohm resistance is I1. The current connected to this 2 ohm resistance is I1 minus I2. Okay, so if I apply KVL to this loop, it looks like this: minus 5 plus I1 into 10 plus I1 minus I2 into 2 is equal to 0. After simplifying, it looks 10 into I1 plus 2 into, so after simplifying, it will be 12 I1 minus 2 I2 plus 0 I3 is equal to 5. Here there is no I3 term, so in order to make it simpler, or in the standard way, so we are writing 12 I1 minus 2 I2 plus 0 into I3 is equal to 5 volt. If we apply KVL to the second loop, so in the second loop, 10 ohm into I2, the current connected to 10 ohm resistance is I2. So I2 into 10, here the resistance connected to this one is 2 ohm into I2 minus I3, and 20, the current connected to 20 ohm resistance is I2, and the current connected to 2 ohm resistance here is I2 and I1. So if I considering all these things and applying KVL, it looks like this. So 10 into I2, I into R we have to consider. So I2 minus I3 into 2, 20 into I2 plus I2 minus I1 into 2 is equal to 0. After simplifying, it looks like this. Okay, so similarly, if I apply the KVL to the third loop, 10 into I3, okay, minus 10 volt, and I3 minus I2 into 2. Okay, so after simplification, it looks like this. So after, if these three equations, if I write it in the matrix form, it looks like this. Okay, so these three equations have to solve. Okay, we can solve this equation by using simultaneous equation pattern, or we can go for Cramer's rule. So it is better to go for Cramer's rule. As per the Cramer's rule, first we have to calculate the delta. Delta is nothing but the determinant of the main matrix. So we have calculated the delta, that is determinant of the main matrix. I think you know how to calculate the determinant. Okay, we have to take like this: plus minus plus, then like this we can assume plus minus plus, then A into E I minus HF minus B into DI minus GF. Okay, and lastly C into DH minus GE. Okay, so in the same pattern, 12 into 34 into 12 minus 2 into 2, then minus of minus 2, minus of minus 2, this into minus 2 into minus 2 into 12, minus 0 into minus 2. Okay, and lastly 0 into minus 2 into minus 2, minus 0 into 34. So after simplifying, the value will be 4800. So next we have to calculate delta 1, delta 2, delta 3 to calculate I1, I2 and I3. So delta 1 can be obtained by replacing the first column by the constant. Okay, what are the constant here? 5, 0, 10. So delta 2 can be obtained by replacing the second column by the constant. Delta 3 can be obtained by replacing the third column by the constant. And after applying, if I want I1, I1 is given by delta 1 by delta, I2 is given by delta 2 by delta, and I3 is given by delta 3 by delta. Okay, so here in the given question, I required I2 and I3. Only I2 and I3 is required. So for that reason, if I simplify I2 minus I3, we'll calculate I2. Okay, delta 3 will be calculated, delta 1 will be calculated. After calculating delta 2 and delta 3, we'll calculate I2 and I3, and after calculating I2 and I3, if I put this one in the equation, we'll get VR. Okay, thank you.